This channel is made possible by viewers like you. My viewers, subscribers, and patrons greatly help to keep this channel going. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all of you. Please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any uploads. And if you'd like to go the extra mile, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you'll get access to what I'm working on, previews of upcoming content, and even early videos, along with other tier options for those that are interested. Thank you, and now on to the video. Sly Cooper is the type of game that I really like to cover on my channel. A great example of older game design that is for the most part aged very well. And a game and arguably series that, while it has a passionate group of fans and received well critically, is one that, especially years after the titles have come out, deserves even more attention because of the lack of it within the medium today. I blame a lot of this on Sony. They have provided access to older titles for their PS4 and 5, but they honestly could do a lot better within this area, especially with the services they offer. On the PS3, we had those great remastered collection sets for many of Sony's exclusives, but sadly this was not followed through with the generations that went on. The big reason I say that Sony should bring Sly back is because, well, it just holds up really well, and we honestly do not see games like this, especially from the AAA market. If you want something like this, you need to look to the indie side of things, but when you go back to the older generations of games, you will find these awesome titles that very much are timeless. Visually, the game is not dated at all, and provides more style and substance that any modern game would be jealous of. Sly Cooper is an action platformer that mixes in many minigames along with some light stealth elements, to give it this unique flavor that you can see from its visuals along with its gameplay. This is a top tier game. Is it the longest game? No, but it has an almost perfect pace to the point that the game just flies by. Stages are impressive with how they are constructed. Often they provide unique elements to the point that when I enter a dungeon, I never really knew what I was going to experience. Maybe it would be a set of platforming challenges I needed to accomplish, or it'd be more of a sprint-like level with an enemy that was firing upon me and I needed to make quick decisions to not die. Or maybe it was a minigame that didn't even involve platforming at all. While the minigames also bring in some of my flaws with this title, I do appreciate the effort to provide that variety. Plus, it doesn't hurt either that the story, writing, characters, and even villains are all rather well done. Is it the deepest story? No. But the quality writing mixed with the slick presentation means that there is care seen in every aspect of this title. Sly Cooper is just awesome. Now, for the majority of the game, you're going to be visiting different worlds, collecting keys to then unlock the area to the boss, and then move on to the next world. The worlds themselves are pretty unique as they range from various locations, and the dungeons within them provide even more personality. One minute you're trying to navigate through a swamp, and then next you're in China. The worlds kind of act like these direct hubs. You have various dungeons to complete to obtain most of your keys, and these act like individual stages. You do need to complete all of them to eventually reach the boss. But something that I appreciated was how at different times you could choose the order of the missions that you were going to do. If you preferred to do more platforming over the minigame stage, you could choose that one first. While the keys are your main goal, you also have bottles that you're looking out for as well. Collect all of them and you'll unlock the vault for the area. When I first went through this game, I actually ignored most of it. I figured that they were just something to collect. But Sly goes a step further. Yes, they are something to collect, but the end result is more than just a sense of accomplishment or trophy, depending on which version you're playing. But they actually expand your moveset. You will earn new and useful moves to help you out in different areas of the game, even completing some of the speedrunning challenges, if that is something you're interested in. I really love this touch because the collectibles essentially added more purpose behind them, rather than just being something to collect within a platformer. Personally, one of my favorite moves that you earn is not taking damage from falling in water anymore. So how is playing Sly Cooper? Overall, it's pretty smooth. You have a double jump and can grab onto specific objects with an attack with your cane. The combat is rather basic and gets the job done with some good punchy sound effects. Platforming starts good and gets expanded upon as you progress throughout the game, especially when you get the double jump, grab onto various objects, being able to land on narrow points, and even riding some rails to add some speed to it. Now, I did mention that the game has awesome pacing, and these levels are a big part of why that is. In many cases, they can feel like mini heists within the overall big one. This means that I found Sly to be really enjoying to play for long play sessions, and one that I could still drop into for a few levels and get something out of it. Sometimes you are dodging traps, trying not to alert the guards, needing to complete the level with some haste, avoiding searchlights, and a lot more. The bosses are generally good too. These encounters follow a traditional style that is well done here, and you need to learn the ins and outs of their phases to win. Sly also comes packed with different minigames that you will experience. These can be a bit more on the mixed side of things. Some stuff like a turret section or a hover tank can be pretty fun to change things up. Other stuff like races and the horrible level involving chickens can definitely be something that feels like it was never playtested and balanced properly by the developers. That chicken level is easily one of the worst parts within this game. You are battling collecting enough chickens within the time limit, along with not being hit by some of the explosives. The double challenge here feels like it was done to really test the player, and it comes out of the blue no matter what order you try to do those missions in for that level. It's a difficulty spike that manages to just halt most of the progress that you had, and even hurts the pacing at this point. Thankfully, the chicken part only occurs once and never appears again, but this definitely is an example of experiencing one part in a game that you hate within an otherwise great game.
It had been a while since I'd been back in the US. Next up, the notorious mugshot. Ruthless muscle of the Fiendish Five. What he lacked in brains, he definitely made up for in brawn. Turns out he wasn't always that way. He grew up as the run of the litter.
Sly Cooper succeeded in many ways, and another one was with its story. I love our crew with Sly, Bentley, and Murray. They feel like a team and bring different skill sets to the table. Sly's chemistry and back and forths with Carmelita is another highlight as well. Each of the main villains get a brief yet well executed backstory, and each of their levels and their boss fights allows them to shine just a bit more. The cutscenes here are a huge treat. They are gorgeous with comic-like visuals, and when you mix in the snappy movements, they are very engaging as well. Sly Cooper is exactly what you would be looking for from a first-party exclusive. Outside of some minor things like maybe some cheap jumps and that chicken level, the game stands with this very high level of quality. Plus, the design is well done, and it provides enough guidance, along with parts where the player just needs to figure it out, especially in some of the later levels. The last world is like a gauntlet of challenges with a lot of forward-moving momentum. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus is a stellar platformer, and was just the beginning for this promising series. Have you played any of the Sly games? What are other platformers you enjoy? Let me know all of this in the comments down below. If you're interested in being notified of new videos, please hit the subscribe button and bell. And if you would like to support the channel and get early access to content, please check out my Patreon. All of the links will be at the end of this video and within the description. And thank you very much for watching.